I can't spend $25 million, $25 million on Brunson. I just think there's a better use of that money. I'm trying to build a team around Luka, right? And I'm a Jalen Brunson fan, but I don't have a second guy for Luka right now. You're watching this series as the competitions get greater. I mean, you're judging yourself against the best team. This is the type of team you got to beat to achieve your goals. And I think that any objective observer sits back and goes, boy, you better find some better players to put around Luka, because there's nobody else. There's nobody else to step up. And the Brunson thing, we were effusive in our praise about him. He's turned into a pumpkin. He was averaging 28 points a game against the Jazz perimeter defense. He's averaging 11 against the Suns, and the numbers are crazy because his field goal percentage without Luka, he was shooting 51% from the field and 41% from three. Since Luka's come back, Brunson shot 41% from the field and 30% from three. And you would think it would be easier, right? You would think it would be easier with Luka. Now, I know that, you got to bake in the fact that you're playing Phoenix instead of friggin' Utah, but those numbers are pretty alarming, for sure.
With Brunson, Tim McMahon said he could get $20 to $25 million this offseason. If you're Dallas, based off what you've seen so far, how comfortable do you feel in doing that? Because it's not just that he's not producing, he's also just not getting high usage anymore. He ran 12 pick and rolls last night. He was running in the high 20s and the 30s without Luka. And then it was in the high teens after Luka returned, and now it's dropped to 12. It was five in game one. So he's just not running pick and roll, one of the things that he does best as a playmaker and a shot creator. Does Luka need to have the ball less? Well, Luka's dominating, despite having Mikal Bridges over him all game long. So if you're really going to take the ball out of Luka's hands and give it to Jalen Brunson, it's a tough problem here for Dallas, because I think that would help Brunson having a screener and a pick and roll action and Luka off ball. But is he good enough to warrant that? That's the difficulty here for Dallas, especially with that contract coming up. So, I mean, to bring it back to that, 20 to 25 million. How do you feel about that right now for Dallas, assuming they lose this series, they move forward?
Absolutely not. Not with the way the rest of my roster looks.
So you're trying to sign and trade him in that case then?
Yeah. I can't spend $25 million, $25 million on Brunson. I just think there's a better use of that money. I'm trying to build a team around Luka, right? And I'm a Jalen Brunson fan, but I don't have a second guy for Luka right now. They tried it with KP. It didn't take, right? So now I've got to use those funds. That's my mission. I got to find a second guy for Luka, somebody that can, because the high usage thing, Russillo did a huge show about this in the middle of the season. It doesn't bode well for postseason basketball.
Russ, Iverson,
Harden.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's very difficult. It's very difficult when the usage is extremely high for one particular player. And while that one particular player might get really good stats, and Luka's been amazing, right? What does it mean for the rest? And you certainly need a second guy there. And so I think that's the best utilization of money. If I thought Brunson could be that second guy, it's a different story. But I got an unbelievable contract with Dorian Finney-Smith already. He's one that I want in that mix. I do want him as part of the team, and I've got him on a good contract. And now I've got to figure out what is the best kind of second best player on my team, role? Is it a big guy? Is it another perimeter guy? I'm unsure of, the exact way I'd want to build with Luka, but I don't have a second best player. I don't.
I think a lot of it would have to do with what is Luka willing to do, because I remember the first year with KP. I was in Dallas. I interviewed Luka. I talked to Donnie Nelson, talked to, a bunch of different people. Donnie Nelson, I talked to him about, hey, with Luka, if you guys are able to develop or find a great perimeter guard, do you think that opens up new dimensions of Luka's game, like screening actions, off ball cutting, having someone else who can, handle the ball in the perimeter, run a pick and roll? And he's like, absolutely. That allows us to get into so many different actions with Luka. You can plug him in as a screener and have him short roll, and his playmaking will still be activated in the half court. Donnie Nelson sounded all excited about that. I remember then I asked Luka about it. And the way I framed the question to Luka was like, well, I was talking to Donnie Nelson about this. Like, if you're screening like in a Draymond role, and Luka kind of looked at me like, what? I'm like the point guard. Like he just kind of gave me a look like, B? Like in that role? I don't think so. He didn't say that outright, but I'll always remember the look on his face. Like, you're not taking the ball out of my hands. Mm-hmm. So with that said, like I love the idea, and I'm curious what you think about this, Chris. What if they were to go hard with multiple draft picks after Damian Lillard? What do you think about that fit with Luka? Giving up like 3+ first-round picks?
No.
No?
No.
Not after the injury, not at his age?
And I just think the ball needs to be in Lillard's hands to get the best out of Lillard. I think you got two guys that are going to be controlling the ball for the most part. You know what I'm most fascinated in? And there's a lot of smoke around this when you talk to people. I'm most fascinated in your old buddy in Utah. I think that's absolutely possible.
Gobert. So we're thinking opposite ends of the spectrum here. I just threw out Damian Lillard, and you're throwing out Rudy Gobert. Yeah,
I know. But I think they there have been talks about them having great interest in Gobert.
Yeah,
and detaining
as they should.
Gobert. And the idea that, certainly for all my criticisms of Gobert, he helps you on you're targeting Luka front, like you saw last night. You were talking about, they're just going to try to anybody that you could try to target on defense, Gobert is helpful to have behind. And the other thing is, does he start being able to finish a lot more? Is it just, a dunk fest with him? Because we know that Luka could run that high pick and roll, and now, it becomes very simple basketball, and he's running around the corner, and you can either blame Gobert or you can blame those guards in Utah for his lack of success. I know he's not a guy you throw the ball to and create a shot, but if we're just talking about finishing lobs, which is something he didn't even do all that much, except for the game winner. But that game winner is a sign of what he can do, right? And how it actually becomes effective on the offensive end. I don't think that's foolishness for them to be thinking long and hard about that. I could actually see that taking place for sure. I don't know how you get there. I don't know what you give up, but the fact that they have interest in it is fascinating to me.
Is this going to be a sweep?
Maybe gentlemen's, right? Dallas could get. I always think
any chance it's 2-2.
I would be shocked. I'd be shocked at 2-2. I certainly would not be shocked if they were able to win game 3. We talked about this so much. Psychologically, when you are down 0-2 in a series, your back is against the wall. Your whole season's on the line. And these teams can say, yeah, well, we're here to get 2. We want to go for the jugular, all they want. But you got one team that's going out there that feels like their whole season's on the line, and the other team that's comfortable. They've got a 2-0 lead. If they lose this one, they'll win the next one, then they could go win game 5 at home. And we've seen that happen a million times over the years. And so I'll never be surprised if any team is able to get the first home game of the series. But them getting both of those games, yes, I would be very surprised by that.
Yeah, me too.
I just watched a team shoot 84% in a friggin' quarter, Kevin. Like, I don't know. 84%. They score 40 points in the fourth quarter. That's insane. It's insane. And that's game 2. That's after some adjustments are theoretically made. You know? I like their adjustments. That's what I'd say.
Phoenix can beat you so many different ways, man.
Oh, they're devastating.